Welcome students to this second year of your graduation. In your third semester, you have cleared your semester 1, then semester 2, and now you are entered in semester 3. So in this difficult time of corona pandemic, it is decided by UGC and the government to conduct your online classes. So this is an attempt to conduct our online class through this online platform, and for that purpose we are using this video lecture. In your previous semesters, you might have studied about life and diversity of non-chordates. Then in your semester 2, you have studied about cell biology and developmental biology. Now in the semester 3, in zoology subject, we are going to study the life and diversity of chordata and also the concept of evolution. The title of paper of zoology in semester 3 is Life and Diversity of Chordata and Concept of Evolution. This paper is divided into 6 units. These 6 units, out of these 6 units, first 3 units, they include the study of phylum Chordata, various groups, various classes of phylum Chordata, and the remaining or last 3 units, unit number 4, unit number 5 and unit number 6, they are regarding the concept of evolution, various aspects of evolution, some evidences regarding evolution, some comparative accounts of various developmental evolution regarding some systems, development of systems, right? Some evidence which in support help to prove the type of evolution. So in unit number 1, we will see general idea about phylum Chordata. So what are the characters to be required present in animal to be included in phylum Chordata? So this we are going to study in unit number 1. Also origin of chordate, that means various hypotheses explained by various researchers, their views and their evidences which they have given to support their hypothesis regarding the origin of chordate from non-chordate. No doubt chordates are evolved from non-chordate, because when we trace the ancestry of any animal, we generally rely on fossil record. But in case of chordates, when we trace the ancestry of chordate, there are no fossil record which show the exact ancestry of chordates. So this indicates that chordate have been evolved from soft-bodied animal which cannot be preserved in the form of fossil. So hence this type of simpler body is found in lower group of animals, that means non-chordate. So hence it is clear that chordates are evolved from non-chordate. But from which group of non-chordate the chordates are evolved, that is claimed by various researchers in their hypothesis. So that we are going to discuss in this unit. regarding origin of chordates. Then next point we are going to discuss in this unit, it is about protochordates. The proto name indicates proto means first and chordate, that means the animals having notochord. Chordata group, phylum Chordata include all the animals which have notochord, and the protochordates are the first group of animals uh, belonging to phylum Chordata, and out of which we are going to study type study of Amphioxus. So there are many animals in the group Protochordata, but out of that our syllabus include type study of Amphioxus. In detail we are going to study about Amphioxus, their habit and habitat, where the Amphioxus lives, where it is found, what is its habits, how it on what material it feeds, where it lives. All such aspects are included in habit and habitat of Amphioxus. Then external character, how it appears externally, what type of characters can be seen externally when we look the body of Amphioxus externally, what is the length, what color of the body is found. So all such characters, external characters. Then digestive system, organs of digestion, and also mechanism of feeding, including the material food and feeding mechanism in Amphioxus. Then excretory organ, as it is a lower group of phylum Chordata, so naturally it have simpler type of excretory organs, but still what we are going to study, what kind of excretory organs, how it performs excretion, all such you can say details we are going to study in this unit also. Then reproductive organs, that means gonads. Last one of this group Protochordata, it is affinities of Amphioxus, that means what kind of similarities and dissimilarities are found in between this. As we know that Protochordate is the first group of chordata, so what are the similarities and what are dissimilar characters between Amphioxus and lower groups, include various lower phyla of invertebrata, and also affinities of Agnatha. Also in this unit we are going to study the details about some class of chordate, that means series Pisces, and in this series Pisces we are going to discuss in detail about the animal, type animal, that is Scoliodon, also called as, commonly called as dogfish. Regarding Scoliodon we are also going to study habit and habitat, then external characters, also digestive system consisting of alimentary canal and digestive gland. So what kind of glands are associated with the digestive system and how it helps in digestion, so mechanism of digestion it is also included. Then respiratory system, as we know this is a fish, Pisces include generally fishes, and Scoliodon also a fish, so naturally respiratory organs are gills, and how these gills help in inspiration and expiration, that means mechanism of respiration. During inspiration what changes occur in body, and during expiration what kind of changes occur in body, all this is we are going to study in respiratory system. Then circulatory system, that means structure of heart, working of heart, then major arteries and veins, that means arterial system, its distribution, to which part the artery distribute the oxygenated blood, and also venous system, from which part of the body, how and which veins they collect the blood and then carry back to the heart. All such type of details we are going to discuss in this circulatory system. Then lateral line receptor, lateral line receptors are special sensory organs found in most of the fishes. These are the specialized sensory organ which help to navigate in the water, and also it help the fish to find the objects. So this type of specialized sensory organs, lateral line receptors, are found in fishes. And last topic of this unit is migration in fishes. How, why, what the fishes, and in which place the fishes migrate, all these details, that means the types of migration, the causes of migration, and the significance of migration. What are the significance of migration for fishes? All such details we are going to discuss in this unit. Now let us start the unit 1. Before going to study in detail about various aspects of this phylum Chordata, we generally have a short look on classification of chordates. So in which group the phylum Chordata is divided? Now the name indicates phylum Chordata. So phylum Chordata include all those animals which have presence of notochord in their body. However, in some higher animals, this notochord is modified into vertebral column. But during some developmental stage of life, this vertebral column is initially present in the form of notochord. So every chordate in one or other stage of life, it bears notochord. So hence all those animals which have presence of notochord during some stage of life, they are included in phylum Chordata. This phylum Chordata is divided into two groups. One is Agnatha, one is Acraniata, and second one is Craniata. That means the animal with craniums. Now what is cranium? We know that cranium is a brain box, a bony case, a bony box inside which our brain is protected. Animal brain which is protected inside a bone case, bone box. That bony box is called cranium. So those animals which have presence of cranium, that means the animals in which brain is protected inside the cranium, they are included in Craniata, and the animals without cranium, they are included in Acraniata. Acraniata again divided into two groups, Urochordata and Cephalochordata. The Amphioxus, as we have seen that Amphioxus, this first unit includes study of Amphioxus. It is an example of Cephalochordata. Then Craniata, group Craniata is also divided into two subgroups, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Here there is a term Gnatha. Gnatha means jaw. We know that jaws are present inside our mouth. They are the margin of our buccal cavity. So, and stoma means opening. So in our case, in case of animals, stoma is mouth. So mouth, when it is supported with jaw, so that type of animal in which mouth is supported with jaw, upper jaw and lower jaw, that type of animals are included in Gnathostomata, in the subgroup Gnathostomata. And the animals which do not have jaw, that means jaw-less animals, they are included in Agnatha. Agnatha, it is again divided into Ostracodermy and Cyclostomata. However, Gnathostomata, it is divided into two series. One is Pisces, other one is Tetrapoda. Series Pisces include fish type of animals, fishes, all are aquatic. However, Tetrapoda, it include some amphibians and terrestrial animals. So series Pisces, it is divided into two classes of fishes. One is Chondrichthyes, second is class Osteichthyes. The class Chondrichthyes include fishes having endoskeleton of cartilage, and the class Osteichthyes include the fishes having endoskeleton of bones. So cartilaginous fishes are included in Chondrichthyes and bony fishes are included in Osteichthyes. Then looking over to Tetrapoda, tetra means four and poda means, in common sense we call it as legs, or you can say limbs. So animal having four limbs, they are included in Tetrapoda. Two forelimb and two hind limb, that means two anterior limb and two posterior limbs. So they are called tetrapods. So Tetrapoda. So this Tetrapoda, it is divided into four classes. One is class Amphibia, that means the animal which can live in water and also they can survive on the land. So amphi means double, dual, and bia means living. So animal which can live underwater, in water, and also on the land. So such type of animals are included in class Amphibia. Reptilia contain, or it includes, the animal which locomote by crawling movement. So crawlers, generally crawlers, snakes, crocodile, all such type of crawling animals are included in class Reptilia. Class Aves include birds. Both the type of birds, flying and flightless birds, they are included in class Aves. All the type of birds are included in class Aves. And the final class of phylum Chordata, which include higher animals, that is Mammalia. So animal having mammary gland, animal having body covered with hairs. So such type of animals, they are included in class Mammalia. This is a short overlook, or you can say recapitulation. This is simply a recap of what you know regarding phylum Chordata. But still, before starting our unit number 1, we are generally going to discuss some peculiar or typical characters which are to be needed in an animal when we call it as a chordate type of animal. So in short, we are going to discuss about general characters of phylum Chordata. So if we call any animal as a chordate, so it should have some characters. And what are those characters we are going to discuss here? Animal which are included in phylum Chordata, they have bilaterally symmetrical body. That means their body is bilaterally symmetrical. Now what is bilaterally symmetry? Bilateral symmetry means what? That means if an animal body is cut medially, that means from the center, when we cut the animal body, if it is divided into two equal halves, so that type of symmetry of the body is called bilateral symmetry. In most of the chordates, almost in all chordates, their body is bilaterally symmetrical. And also metamerically segmented. That means the segmental presence of organs is found in all the chordates. Another character of animals included in phylum Chordata, that is triploblastic. That means its integument has 3 layers. That means animal has 3 germ layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So these are triploblastic type of animals, presence of 3 germ layers. Then most important character, one of the most important character, that is presence of dorsal tubular nerve cord. So nerve cord which is present on dorsal side. In case of non-chordata, nerve cord is present, but it is present on ventral side. In case of chordates, this nerve cord is present on dorsal side. In our case also, our spinal cord, which is a nerve cord, it is present in dorsal side and it is hollow. So hence dorsal tubular tube like nerve cord is present. Then notochord, as we have discussed that notochord is a important character of chordate. So notochord is always essentially present at some stages of life, either in embryonic stage or in adult stage. In some stages, in some animals it is found only in embryonic stage, however in some chordate it persists still in adult stage also, but always either in embryonic stage or in adult stage. All the animals, they may have presence of notochord. It is completely or partially replaced by vertebral column in majority of animals. This we have also discussed that in some animals, in our case also, in case of human beings also, the embryonic stage, embryonic developing stage, it shows the presence of notochord. Later on this notochord is modified into vertebral column, so it may be either partially converted or replaced by vertebral column, or it may be completely replaced by vertebral column. Then presence of paired gill slits. Just like notochord, the gill slits are also found in some stages of life of every chordate. Either in developing stage, the gill slits are found on either side of the pharynx. However, it persists in the fishes, in adult fishes. The gills, we can see in adult fishes, gill slits are present on either side. The number of gill slits may vary from fish to fish, or the class to class of fishes, but there is presence of gill slits in adult. In case of other chordate animals, it may be present in embryonic stage but may not be present in adult stage. So during development they show presence of pharyngeal gill slit. So this is also one of the important character, presence of pharyngeal gill slits. All the chordates are coelomate. That means all the chordate, they bear coelom. They have true body cavity. Coelom means true body cavity. So all the chordate, they have true body cavity. Hepatic portal system is also present in most of the chordates. Generally, all chordates, they have hepatic portal system. That means the blood circulates. When the blood circulates, it passes through liver and then it is bring back to the heart. So hepatic portal system is also found. And one of the most again important character, that is presence of post-anal tail. Presence of tail behind the anus, it is also one of the important character of the chordate. In some animal, during evolution, the tail might be, you can say, diminished. Just like in human beings, the tail is diminished from human body, but still there is presence of remnant of the tail in the form of coccygeal vertebra. Still in our body also the tail is found. So in some or other stage of life, they exhibit presence of post-anal tail. In our embryo also post-anal tail is still found, but adult stage, in adult human, post-anal tail is not found. However, in other mammals, post-anal tail is found, just like in case of monkeys or other, you can say, primates. They show the presence of tail. But as we are highly evolved, you can say, animal of phylum Chordata, so we have deleted, or we have the deletion of tail from our body. So there is absence of post-anal tail in our body, but still in our embryonic stage there is presence of post-anal tail. So all these are some characters of phylum Chordata. There are many more characters in phylum Chordata because there is diversity of animals in phylum Chordata, and each animal has its own peculiar character. Here we are not going to see in detail all the characters. We are generally having a just overlook of the you can say silent features of phylum Chordata. So generally we have seen only the major highlights of the characters of phylum Chordata. In further lecture we are going to discuss about origin of chordate, from which group the chordates have been originated. We are going to trace the ancestry which is claimed by various researchers in their hypothesis through various theories. The theory of coelentrates, then annelids theory, then you can say echinoderm theory, hemichordata theory, all such type of theories which are put forth by various researchers, and finally what is concluded from what type of animal the chordates have been evolved. All such type of details we are going to discuss in our further lecture. So for this lecture, this is up to mark regarding the general idea about you can say chordata. So thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.